I'm really glad I picked it up. It's something a bit different that I wouldn't normally have gotten, but a friend of mine who's a teacher recommended it to me, and I'm really glad he did. Do you like the beard, by the way? We're doing Shakespeare at the moment in drama school, so I already had a beard when I came back from holiday, and I decided I'd get a bit of a Shakespeare beard going on. I was aiming for a kind of Tom Hiddleston, Henry V thing. Next up, Sex at the Margins by Laura Maria Augustin. This one's absolutely brilliant. It's about migrant workers and sex workers and the fact that they face very, very similar problems, and people talk about them in very, very similar ways. So, I mean, this is really like two books that she's brilliantly combined into one, and it's either one of them would have been great, but she's like gone, oh, there's a brilliant connection here. So I absolutely loved this book. The ways people talk about both migrants and sex workers, people who are against them, like, no, this shouldn't happen, and people who are trying to help them, she says are often very similar. And she talks about the rescue industry for sex workers, about there's like a whole industry of people who are trying to help and save sex workers in a way, she says, that often erases their agency and often doesn't really treat them like human beings. And she says that efforts to help both of these groups and people who fall into both groups often don't centre them. And that was a really eye-opening thing. Again, kind of empathy, like hearing about people who live very different lives. And I would absolutely recommend this book because it's a way of going, oh crap, these people are not just headlines. She interviews both migrants and sex workers and migrant sex workers and talks about their voices and gives them a voice, and I think that's really, really cool. It's nice to be reminded that these are human beings. They have lives, they have hopes and dreams and rights and ambition. And last but not least, Hannah Arendt, The Origins of Totalitarianism. This book basically poses the question, Nazis, why? As the title suggests, it's a history book about totalitarianism, not just Nazis, but also Stalinist totalitarianism, and where that came from. And what's really nice is that it doesn't just start like, bang, 1930s, here's Hitler. She's like, oh, okay, no. We need to go right back to the 19th century and talk about this is where anti-Semitism comes from, this is why people at the time didn't like Jews, and why people now still, some people don't like Jews. This is how racism became a part of politics and a political device for organising communities. This is, and then the third part of the book is like, what is it actually like to live under a totalitarian government? What does it do to you? How do they organise people? How did the system work? I think I learned more about the Nazis from this book than I ever did from my history teacher. No offence, Mr. Wright, I did really enjoy your lessons. There are a couple of things to be aware of with this book. The first is that it was written in the 50s and parts of it get pretty racist at times, particularly when she's talking about Africa and the history of colonial powers mucking around in Africa. Those bits can get a bit racist, so do be aware of the limitations of the text. The other thing is that the history bits are really, really good. There are times when she veers into doing a bit of philosophy, and that's a little bit woolly. I'm working on an episode about refugees and human rights and where human rights come from, and this is going to be informing a major part of that, so you can look forward to hearing more about this one. And those are all the reading recommendations I have for you this time. I've actually been reading a lot more books than that in the past few months, but I needed a way of condensing down the list, so these are just like my top 5. I have a wish list of books on Amazon if you ever want to send me reading material, as a lot of fans do. And I think just about all of these were sent to me by fans, so thanks very much. If you ever want to send me books, there's a list in the description. That'll be really kind of you, or you can support me at patreon.com/philosophytube.